first of all, let's discuss this Insomniac Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse 2 trailer. Chris, you're wearing your Spider-Man shirt. You are a huge Spider-Man fan. I'd like to go to you first on this. How did you feel about that cameo? It seemed pretty obvious. And is that Neversoft Spider-Man in there as well?
I don't know. It looks like it because even the run animation looks like the PS1 run animation. That is etched into my brain. I played Neversoft Spider-Man, both Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro like what feels like millions of times over. So a lot of that game is etched just deeply into my brain. And I saw the character that they're talking about that people are saying is the Neversoft Spider-Man. And it does, like, it strikes me as like that's Neversoft. Although, like, when you get closer, like the suit's like a little bit different. There's like different, but at the same time, that suit was different across a myriad of different games as well. Like the suit looked a little bit different on PlayStation, looked a little bit different on Dreamcast, looked a little bit different on N64, which it was also on. So I feel like it's probably just a matter of they went with one of those suits instead of, obviously, or maybe they mixed them all. I really don't know. It's a really low resolution. Obviously, like YouTube compression, all that stuff. It's going to be hard to make out the details that would be necessary to make that out. I think that's dope. Like Spider-Man PS4 being in there, I feel like that was obvious. I feel like I'm pretty sure that suit is even in the first Spider-Verse in some way. I feel like I remember there being a nod to Spider-Man PS4 in Spider-Verse 1. And so to see him in the flesh, for lack of a better term, in this movie just doesn't surprise me as much as Neversoft being there. I've heard rumors about the 90s animated series Spider-Man being in it as well, hopefully with Christopher Daniel Barnes coming back to voice it. That is the voice of Spider-Man to me. That and Rino Romano, who is the voice of Spider-Man in the Neversoft games. Like those are what I hear in my head when I think about Spider-Man talking. And if they're in that movie, it's going to be a ton of fun. But it's interesting to see just this video gamey kind of, or this, to see them reaching every corner of Spider-Man fandom into these really, like, I never once in a million years thought I would see Neversoft Spider-Man. I thought 90s animated, maybe, but Neversoft in there, that's nuts. And it's really cool. It's really dope. It shows that there's a lot of people who really love it and a lot of people who really care, and that game still resonates in some way. It's dope.
Dustin, I'm curious. Well, I was going to go on to the next piece of Spider-Man news, but actually I want to get your take on this first. What did you think about the appearance of?
So I'm looking at the image, but I didn't watch the trailer. And that's just because I thought the first Into the Spider-Verse was so awesome from a visual standpoint. It's just a really great movie that I don't know. I'd rather just go in fresh at the theater, but I'm okay seeing this image, but it's cool to see him in there. And it's a nice, obviously there's so many different versions of Spider-Man. So having something celebrating it is awesome, especially for, like, I'm sure for Chris, who's been a fan of many different versions. And dude, Spider-Verse is sick. That actually is a comic thing that I am very excited about. So yeah, it's cool to see him in there.
The other piece of news that broke around the time we started recording comes in a post on PlayStation blog entitled PlayStation in 2023 Highlights. There are a few things here because they're going over how, there was the reveal trailer for Spider-Man 2 and all of the rest, which I think was in 2021, if I recall. They say, in part, quote, following the events of Marvel's Spider-Man and Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, the Spider duo of Peter Parker and Miles Morales are back in the next blockbuster action chapter of the Marvel Spider-Man series. Much is still to be revealed about the game, and going off the quality of the past two titles, we're bound to be in for a fantastic new original Spider-Man adventure, end quote. And so the game will be coming to PS5 in the fall of 2023, according to creative director Brian Intihar from Insomniac Games. And so that's exciting. We knew the game was going to come out in 2023. We have a fall 2023 release window. Chris, what do you think? Insomniac continuing to do a lot of work. This will be their third PS5 game. I assume we might not see them again this generation. I just, or maybe much later. I mean, how much shit can they possibly be making there? But this is going to be a very important game in the fall. 20 million seller potential, as long as there's enough PS5s to actually in people's hands to be able to play the game. So how are you feeling about that release window?
Very excited. I think they're going to hit it. It does make me wonder what the scope of it is going to be, because I kind of anticipated, like, I know we knew that it would launch in 2023 based on the launch window or the year window that they gave when they first announced it. But I kind of always assumed that it would get pushed in some way. That they're announcing the fall window this early seems to me like they're probably going to hit it. I don't think Insomniac has a really big history of, at least as far as in my memory, I don't think they have a particularly strong history of delaying things.
No, the last game I remember them delaying like significantly was Resistance 3.
Yeah,
which I think they had another year to make it. Yeah,
but I don't know. I think they're gonna hit it. And I'm stoked about it. Insomniac is just my favorite studio in the PlayStation ecosystem right now, and I just have complete and utter faith in them and everything they make. So this is a no brainer. This is gonna be a huge year, by the way. 2023 is gonna be insane.